Good morning, students. I am Priya. You are watching EduStar, Class 3, Science, Lesson 5, Parts of a Plant, Lesson 7, The Human Body. Dear students, in this session, we are going to revise these two lessons, so listen carefully. First, Lesson 5, Parts of a Plant. There are different types of plants around us. Some are big while others are small. Some have small leaves while others have big leaves. Plants look different from one another. For example, a papaya plant looks different from a banana plant. So no matter how different plants are, they all have some common parts which perform the same basic functions. Now observe a plant in a garden. The part of the plant that you see above the ground is called the shoot. It bears leaves, flowers, buds, fruits and branches. If you carefully uproot a small plant, you will observe the part of the plant growing below the ground. This is the root. Let us discuss about the various parts of a plant and their functions in detail. First, root. Roots generally grow under the soil. There are two types of roots. What are they? Correct. Taproot and fibrous root. What is taproot? Some plants have one main root growing from the end of the stem into the soil. Several small roots growing from this main root. This main root is called the taproot. For example, bean and mustard plants have taproots. Next, fibrous root. Plants such as grasses and onions have numerous tiny roots growing from the base of the stem. Such roots are called fibrous roots. Do you know the functions of the root? Roots help to fix the plants firmly in the soil. They absorb water and minerals from the soil. Roots of some plants are eaten as food. Radish, carrot and beetroot are some edible roots. Next, the stem. The stem forms the main support of the plant. It usually grows above the soil. There are several types of stem. Big trees have thick and hard stems called the trunk. For example, mango and banyan have thick and hard stems. Next, shrubs have many hard and woody stems. Shrubs such as the rose plant and the hibiscus plant have many hard and woody stems. The herbs have green and soft stems. For example, mint and banana plant. Creepers and climbers have thin and weak stems. Creeper creeps on the ground. For example, watermelon and pumpkin. The climbers climb onto objects for support. For example, money plant and bean. There are some functions of the stem. The stem bears branches, leaves, flowers, buds and fruits. The stem carries water and minerals absorbed by the roots to different parts of the plant. Also, it carries food prepared by the leaves to different parts of the plant. Stems of certain plants are edible. For example, potato, onion, ginger and sugarcane are actually stems that we eat. The next part is the leaf. We see different types of leaves around us. They differ in shape and texture. They may be round, long, wide, narrow or even triangular in shape. Most plants have green colored leaves. However, some plants have leaves of various colors. Every plant has a particular type of leaf. A plant can be identified by its leaves. The leaf also has some parts. Let us see the parts of a leaf. The flat broad part of the leaf is called the leaf blade or the lamina. There is a central line running from the base to the tip of the leaf. This is the main vein or the midrib. There are a number of side veins coming from the midrib. The midrib and the side veins carry water and food minerals. They also provide support and shape to the leaf. The veins are arranged differently in different leaves. In some leaves, the veins are arranged in the form of a network, while in others, the veins are arranged in straight lines. Leaves have tiny openings called stomata. Air enters the leaves through the stomata. Now let's see the functions of leaves. Leaves are called the food factory of plant. Hence, leaves are also called the kitchen of a plant. They prepare food for the whole plant. The leaves have a green colored substance called chlorophyll. Leaves take in carbon dioxide gas from the air and along with the water absorbed by the roots, prepare food in the presence of the sunlight and chlorophyll. This process of preparing food by the plant is called photosynthesis. During this process of photosynthesis, leaves give out oxygen gas which comes out through the stomata. Leaves of some plants such as cabbage and spinach store food in them. We eat such leaves as food. The next parts are flowers and fruits. Most plants have flowers. The flowers are usually colorful and have a sweet smell. The flowers also have a sweet juice called nectar. Most of the flowers change into fruits. We eat flowers of plants such as cauliflower and broccoli. Most fruits have seeds inside them. The fruits protect the seeds. Now let's see about the seeds. Seeds are present inside the fruits. Some fruits have one seed. Some have a few seeds, while some fruits have many seeds. For example, plum and mango have a single seed. Orange has a few seeds and a watermelon has many seeds. The seeds are having a baby plant inside them. The baby plant grows into a new plant when the seed receives enough water, air and warmth. This process by which seeds grow into a new plant is called germination. Some examples of edible seeds are wheat, gram and rice. Okay children, now see these exercises. These are only for your practice. Read and do it on your own. If you completed, you can check your answers with these. Kids also practice taproot and fibrous root, parts of a leaf diagram in your rough note. Okay. Remember, you also have to label the parts neatly. Okay. Now let's see the lesson 7, the human body. Dear children, you all must have seen computers, cars, bicycles and mixture grinders. These are all machines. The machines are made of different parts and each part performs a specific function. Our body is also like a machine. It is a living machine made of different parts which perform different functions. Now let us learn about our body, its parts and their functions in detail. First, let's discuss about the structure of the human body. Our human body is made up of millions of tiny structures called cells. The cells are the smallest units of the body. These cells are of different types. The cells of the same type join together to form a tissue. Different tissues join together to form an organ, and different organs join together to form the organ system. Different organ systems work together to make the body to do some activities. Dear children, now answer me. Can you able to see your lungs and your brain? No, because most of our organs are found inside the body. They are called internal organs. For example, the heart, stomach, kidneys, lungs, and brain are some internal organs. The skin and the nose are found on the outside of the body. They are called external organs. The eyes and the ears are partially external and partially internal. The eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin are called sense organs as they help us to connect with the outside world. Eyes help us to see things around us. Ears help us to hear different sounds. Nose helps us to distinguish different smells. It also helps us to breathe. Tongue helps us to taste different things. Skin helps us to feel. It is the largest sense organ of the body. As you already know, different organs form the organ system. The different organs in a system work in a coordinated manner to perform a particular function. The different organ systems in the body in turn work as a team, and we are able to carry out different activities in day-to-day life. Now let us see the important organ systems in our body. Skeletal system, muscular system, digestive system, respiratory system, nervous system, circulatory system, excretory system, reproductive system. Now let's revise about these organ systems in short. First, skeletal system. All the bones together in the body form a skeleton or the skeletal system. Our skeletal system consists of 206 bones. It gives shape and support to the body. It also protects the internal organs. Without the skeleton, our body would be like a mass of jelly. Next, muscular system. The soft and fleshy parts in our bodies are the muscles. Muscles are attached to our bones. They help in moving the bones. Muscles help us in doing various activities such as laughing, running, crying, playing, working, and etc. Our muscles can contract and expand. To keep our bones and muscles strong, we should exercise regularly. Next is digestive system. The digestive system helps in the digestion of food, the process by which food is broken down into simple useful substances that can be used by the body to get energy is called digestion. Always, the digestion starts from our mouth. Our teeth in the mouth chew the food. The food is then broken into small pieces. This food then travels to the stomach through the food pipe. The stomach produces digestive juices which mix with the food and break it into smaller particles. After a few hours, the food reaches the small intestine. The food is further digested here. The digested food is then absorbed into the blood. The undigested food goes into the large intestine. It is then thrown out of the body through the anus. Did you notice? Where did the digestion of food complete? Correct. In the small intestine. Next, respiratory system. The respiratory system is our breathing system. We need to breathe to live. We breathe in air containing oxygen through our nose. The air from the nose goes down the windpipe. From the windpipe, air reaches the lungs. After the body has used the oxygen from the air, it gives out carbon dioxide as waste. The carbon dioxide is thrown out through the nose when we breathe out. Next is circulatory system. The circulatory system consists of the heart, blood, and blood vessels. The blood vessels are of two types. One is arteries, another is veins. The heart pumps the blood into the blood vessels. The arteries carry blood from the heart to various parts of the body. This blood carries oxygen and useful substances to all parts of the body. Veins carry blood from different parts of the body to the heart. This blood carries waste generated by the body also help in removing the waste from the body. Next is excretory system. The process by which the waste generated by the body is removed is called excretion. The kidneys, ureter, and the urinary bladder form the main excretory organs of the body. The kidneys clean the blood and remove the waste in the form of urine. The lungs and the skin also help in the removal of waste from our body. When we breathe out, carbon dioxide is thrown out of the body through the lungs. The extra water and salt is thrown out by the skin in the form of sweat. Finally, the reproductive system. There are special organs in the body that help to produce babies. They form the reproductive system. Now see these exercises. These exercises are for your practice. Try to do it on your own. If you completed, you can check your answers with these. Also practice these digestive system and respiratory system diagram in your rough note. Label the parts properly, okay? Dear children, these exercises are only for your practice, remember. Dear children, in your science book, read these two lessons well. Also, study this lesson 5 parts of a plant and lesson 7 the human body classwork. Dear children, now I will give you some set of instructions. So listen carefully. Our term 2 exam will start on 22nd March. In our school app, the timetable and portion are updated. Go through that. You are going to write the term 2 exam in long size ruled paper, or you can take printout of the question paper and write answers in that. Read the question well and write answers neatly. In your answer sheet, mention the page number, your name with correct spelling. Your roll number is very important. Write the subject and exam date. If you write exam in ruled paper, leave one line between each and every line and write neatly. The Roman number and question numbers are very important. If you finished writing the exam, check the answers once again and file it safely. On 27th March 2021, you must submit all your answer sheets in school. Parents, please guide your ward as instructed. Thank you parents and my dear students.